Thousands of years ago, a hungry, exhausted man is walking through a forest. Suddenly, he finds a fresh, dead deer on the ground. He falls to his knees, looks up at the sky, a tree, or a stone, and thanks a god. But then, a tiger steps out in front of him, trapped with no escape. He looks up again and begs that same invisible god for help. Now, in the 21st century, you are walking down the street and suddenly spot a real blue sapphire on the ground. What are the first words out of your mouth? Oh my God, thank God. Or a serious threat to your life suddenly appears. What naturally comes out of your mouth? Oh God, please God, help me.
Oh my God.
Why? How? What is the real reason this default faith in an invisible God is hardwired into our minds? To answer that, we have to look at the hardware. There is no single God gene written directly into our DNA. Instead, the process works exactly like a computer. Your DNA provides the biological blueprint. It builds the hardware. And for humans, that hardware is an overpowered, massive supercomputer, the human brain. Specific religions and spiritual beliefs are just the software installed by our culture and our environment as we grow up. Our DNA simply builds a brain that is highly receptive to downloading this spiritual software. But why only humans? Why doesn't a dog look up at the stars and pray for a bigger bone? Because animals live almost entirely in the here and now. Their brains are wired for immediate survival needs, like hunger or running from a threat. They lack the highly developed brain structure that humans possess, the prefrontal cortex. The massive, complex human prefrontal cortex is what separates us from every other animal on Earth. It allows for abstract thinking, complex imagination, and mental time travel. Mental time travel is our unique ability to think about the distant past or imagine what happens in the far future. This exact same evolutionary brain development gave humanity the power to create art, mathematics, and science. But that massive intelligence came with a very heavy burden: the fear of death. We are the only creatures on the planet carrying the heavy knowledge of our own mortality. Our brains are smart enough to ask, what happens when I die? Believing in a higher power or an afterlife provides profound psychological relief from that terrifying question. It prevents us from going completely crazy with fear. And to ensure our survival, our powerful brain developed specific cognitive tools. The first tool is something scientists call the hyperactive agency detection device. Imagine you are an early human thousands of years ago. You are picking berries in the forest, and suddenly you hear a nearby bush violently rustling. You have two choices. You can assume it is just the wind, or you can assume it is a hidden predator. The humans who assumed it was just the wind often got eaten by tigers. The humans who constantly assumed an invisible someone or something was causing the noise survived, and they passed on their DNA. Because our brains are hardwired to sense an intentional agent behind unexplained events to keep us alive, we naturally applied that exact same survival logic to the entire universe. Why is there thunder? Why did the volcano erupt? Why did the crops die? Our brains naturally assumed an invisible someone was pulling the strings. This perfectly connects to our second cognitive tool, teleological thinking. The human brain is a massive pattern recognition machine. It naturally looks for a purpose in absolutely everything. We hate chaos. We want to know the why behind every single event, so we can try to control it. This biological need for order makes the idea of a grand designer a very comfortable and logical shortcut for our brains. Combined with this is our theory of mind. Humans have the unique ability to understand that other people have their own thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Because we are so good at reading the minds of other humans, it makes it incredibly easy for us to project a mind, emotions, and intentions onto invisible entities. We start thinking the sky is angry, so it is raining, or the earth is happy, so the crops are growing. But belief did not just comfort our minds, it literally built our civilizations. This brings us to social cohesion. In the ancient world, humans lived in small tribes. If your group got too big, people stopped trusting each other, and the tribe would fall apart. So, how did we eventually build massive cities with thousands of strangers working together? We created shared beliefs. If two total strangers from different villages both believe that the exact same invisible creator is watching them and will punish them if they steal or murder, they can suddenly trust each other. They can trade, build, and cooperate in peace. Shared beliefs kept early human tribes united, giving religious groups a massive survival advantage over those who didn't share a common belief system. So, after all this evolution and psychology, can we confidently say there are no gods, or that a god definitely exists? The short answer is we don't know. But here is what we do know. If you have faith, it is not a weakness, and it definitely does not mean you are dumb. It is an incredibly advanced survival mechanism built right into your DNA's default system. So, whether you believe in an invisible creator or just the laws of physics, find a balance. Trust the universe, but don't forget to steer the ship.